Today, opening the mail, plus I'm going to show you some really cool cassettes I recently found at the thrift store. All that and more coming up on Friday Night Vinyl. Hi, my name is Frank. It's Friday. That means it's time to kick back, relax, and talk music, and perhaps pour yourself a beverage if you are so inclined. Tonight, I am drinking some California Merlot. And classy me, I put some ice cubes in there. Believe it or not, it was just too warm, so I know I shouldn't do that. And you wine aficionados are rolling over, but what the heck. I want to give a special shout out today to all Channel 33ers in Australia and acknowledge the fact it is not Friday in Australia. You guys are jumping ahead. You are ahead of us. It is Saturday, so I hope all you guys had a great Friday night. Now, for those of you new to Channel 33 RPM, you're probably thinking, Frank, what the heck are you doing here on Friday, and what is Friday Night Vinyl? Well, it is a series I used to do a while ago, or once or twice a month I would pop on, and I kind of stopped doing them. I got busy, but I thought I want to start it up once again, once in a while. And it's really an opportunity to open mail or show some recent pickups. Sometimes I have special guests on, and these are pretty much no frills videos. I don't do any sort of fancy editing or anything like that. I just want to record them, get them out there so you guys can check it out. Anyway, this is enough of a preamble, and I want to get into showing you some stuff I got in the mail. This first package actually came a couple weeks ago from my pal Gilly Beck out in Regina, Saskatchewan. He's also got a YouTube channel. I will leave a link to his channel below this video. And Gil lately has been uploading some footage from his old band, which is really cool. He played bass, and he's been going through his record collection. He's got a really eclectic taste in music. He's into hard rock and metal, of course, and all sorts of other stuff, including Canadiana kind of. I spotted a Stompin' Tom Connors record in his collection. For those of you who know who that is the ultimate in Canadiana. Anyway, he just told me he's sending over a package. You can see right there it says Fragile, ooh, must be Italian, which of course is a reference to Christmas Story, a great movie. Anyway, I do confess, I opened this up. This is actually the second time I'm recording this part of this video. I opened this up and the video just didn't work out. So I already know what's in here. So I will just take you through it. Gil also wrote me a really cool letter typed out, which I really appreciated. Anyway, the first thing he sent me, again, totally unexpected and totally blew me away, is this Japanese pressing of Kiss's Love Gun, one of my personal favorite Kiss albums. And according to the letter that Gil sent, he sold off a bunch of his records years and years ago, and he had used that money to buy an engagement ring for a woman he never ended up marrying. But one of the records he held back was Kiss Love Gun. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, it was the only Kiss record he had, so he thought he would pass it on, and he sent it to me, which is absolutely awesome. Completely unnecessary and very generous of you, Gil. Now, what's cool, and I have a few copies of Kiss Love Gun. I do have a Japanese pressing as well, but I don't have one like this. I've never seen this before. Kiss fans, you're going to know what I'm talking about. Kiss Love Gun in a gatefold sleeve. It never came in a gatefold sleeve. This artwork here is what was on the inner sleeves on the records, but this is a gatefold, which I've never seen, so that is super cool. Now, it doesn't have the obi strip, but that's fine by me. The record itself sounds great, sounds fantastic. Here is the back of that. So I'm a huge Kiss fan. I am a huge fan of Japanese pressings, and I've talked about that before, but I'm thinking I'll do a video in the next month or two showing some of my Japanese record collection and talking more about that. And this is definitely one of them. So thank you very much for that, Gil. He was also showing me well, I felt, when you're watching someone's YouTube video, it kind of feels like they are talking to you. So I guess he was showing me, he was showing everyone who was watching a recent pickup. He got a bunch of records, and one of them was this one. It was a Harlequin special AOR sampler. Basically some tunes that were for, it says here, DJ use only, not for sale. And I commented on the fact that I thought that was a really cool record. Never expecting Gil would actually send it to me, but he did. So that was fantastic. And I've talked about Harlequin in recent videos. They were a local band from this area of the world in the late 70s, early 80s. They were quite popular. They still play their tracks quite often on classic rock radio, but I've never seen a sampler from these guys. This has a couple, what's it up in here? Heavy Talk, Ready to Love Again, but it's Superstitious Feeling. And Hard Road, Superstitious Feeling was a pretty big hit from Harlequin here in Canada. So I'm slowly building up my collection of Harlequin records, particularly now that I've moved back here to my hometown of Winnipeg. I'm trying to collect a lot of records from the bands that really cut their teeth in this city. And the city really had a reputation for producing a lot of great bands over the years, including the Guess Who, BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Bachman. It's Randy Bachman. That's how he pronounces it. BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive. Neil Young went to high school here. Harlequin, Street Hard were kind of based here, but they're originally from Saskatchewan, the province next door. So, I'm really trying to absorb all of that musical history. Crash Test Dummies are from here. Anyway, I'm forgetting a whole bunch. However, Propagandy, another great band. So Gil sent that. Plus, as I mentioned, he's a musician and he played in this band for years. Where did I put those? I've been spinning them. One sec. He played in the band in his hometown called Lung Butter, and they actually recorded a few CDs, and he sent those over for me. I love this kind of stuff. I love independent music. You guys know that, and discovering new artists. So he sent 3 over. I've listened to this one already. This one was from 2002. It's rock. It's kind of quirky rock. It's kind of like there's a band in the 90s called Scatterbrain. It's a bit like that. Anyway, there's this one, and these next 2 I haven't opened yet. It's just been busy on this side of things, but I will give them an open, but I want to do it when I have time to properly listen to them, because that is how I roll. Anyway, sent me this one and this one as well. And Gil was the bass player. You can see the band on the back there. So this is very cool, Gil. Very generous of you. And I will get you back with something. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't accept gifts. I like to reciprocate. And that's part of the really cool thing about the vinyl community, where you trade back and forth and you turn other guys onto new music. So Gil, you rock. Thanks very much. Now, I also got a unexpected email from Trish Mullins, a long-serving member of the YouTube vinyl community, DJ Trish, and I'll leave a link to her channel and Gil's channel below this video. She does a lot of vlogs, a lot of slice-of-life things as she tours her area in the New Jersey area down in the US, and some really neat stuff. She's not a record collector. She's into CDs and is, as I mentioned, a DJ, and her thing really is making mixed CDs, which is the modern equivalent, obviously, of mixtapes. So she sent this over, which is really cool of you, Trish. This one I have not opened. So what did she send over? So Bayhead, New Jersey Visitor's Guide, Green Planet Coffee, and this is really cool. DJ Trish, she sent me over a business card sticker, rock, reggae, jazz, oldies, with her email address, also on YouTube. Check it out there. What did you send over? This one she called Down in the Soul Cellar. So imagine this is some soul music. Booker T and the MGs, Chuck Berry, Cool and the Gang. I won't go through them all, but Tina Turner, Red Hot R&B All-Stars. Some really classic stuff there. So I'm gonna spin this CD later tonight. A note here, I missed the note. It says, there you go, it says, "Hi Frank. Here, some reggae and fun grooves to listen to, plus a few stickers. Enjoy, Trish." I definitely will. So this one's called Beach Party. Beach Boys, Bob Marley, the Beatles. DJ Trish is a DJ, so she knows how to mix a tune. So this is very cool. Very generous of you. Very unexpected. Trish and Gil, you guys rock. As you know, I moved this summer, and we're now living in a city called Winnipeg, which is my hometown. But I left here 12 years ago, and the intention was never to look back. Never to come home, but guess what? We are home now, so who says you can't go home? And I really know we got kids now, and they didn't really know their grandparents very well and their aunts and uncles, so I figured it was time to come back. Anyway, I'm still discovering really the collecting culture in this city, and the just how things work, like how the thrift stores work, what the good thrift stores are, because I know my old city, Edmonton, had great thrift stores, so I've been busy. We've been moving. Summer's been really hectic, so I haven't had a chance to really explore too much, but I am going to start doing that. I also want to go to the, we're an hour from the U.S. border and 3 hours from Fargo, North Dakota, and there's a record show coming up there. I might make the trip down to Fargo coming up next month. Anyway, I was at a place called Value Village, and they had a whole bunch of cassettes, so I grabbed them, because as you know, I am a cassette collector, and a lot of people are like, why do you collect cassettes? They sound horrible. And for me, it's almost purely nostalgia. I listen to these in the garage, and And I don't know, I dig them. It takes me back to a certain time and a certain place. I'll show you quickly here the cassettes I picked up. We have the 1987 release. I think this was their second release from White Lion Pop Metal. Of course, this had the big tune on here called Wait. I used to have this on cassette back in the day. This is Hearing Aid, and this was, you know, back in, what year was this? This came out in 86. In the 80s, there were all these groups getting together, raising money for relief in Africa. The heavy metal community came back, and led by Ronnie James Dio and his band. And you know, it's really heavy metal all-stars. But I have this on vinyl as well. I had the tape back in the day. In addition to the song Stars, we had, what else do we have on here? Up to the Limit, which is Accept. We had On the Road, Motorhead, had some Rush on here, some Kiss, Hendrix, all sorts of great stuff. Not the biggest fan of these guys, but as far as I know, I don't have this on cassette. I lose track of cassettes quite easily. This is Bon Jovi with their 1992 release, Keep the Faith. These are all 99 cents each, by the way. This one I've never seen on cassette before. This is Keel's debut album. Maybe this was, hold on a sec. You know, I lose track of the order. You guys tell me, is this Keel's first, second, third? I have the Right to Rock, and I have the Final Frontier. I'm not sure where this one fits in. Cinderella Night Songs. This was their first album. I kind of dig this one. I haven't heard it in a year, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out. Joan Jett, up your alley. I'm a big Joan Jett fan. I think she rocks. And if you've never seen Joan Jett live, that's one artist well worth checking out. This is her 1988 album. I actually met her on this tour. She was opening for Robert Plant and signing autographs at a record shop. So I have the vinyl version of this signed by Joan Jett and Ricky Byrd, but I did not have the cassette. This is Kiss with Kiss My Ass, classic Kiss regrooved. And this was an album actually that Kiss was involved in putting together in 1994 with a bunch of big name artists doing cover tunes of Kiss songs. Standard on here for me was the Anthrax version of She. It's got Garth Brooks doing Hard Like Woman, a bunch of other stuff. And the different thing about this one is, depending on what country it was released in, I know they had at least a couple different flags on the front. This is the Canadian version. I've seen the American one. I'm not sure if there's any others. But happy to have this tape in the collection. Beavis and Butthead would not agree with this one, but this is the debut from Winger. I haven't heard this in years. I remember I dug the tune 17. Red Beach, fantastic guitar player. Kingdom Come. These guys used to be called Led Zeppelin clones. I have this on vinyl. Got their debut album. You know, I can look past the whole Led Zeppelin ripoff thing. Some good tunes on here, including Get It On, Canadian edition. And finally, Warrant's Cherry Pie. Say what you like about Warrant, but they did have some really catchy tunes. Okay guys, that is my Friday update. Let me know what you thought of these in the comments below. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. Listen to some music, I hope. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic couple days. I'll be back here on Sunday. That's Monday for you folks in Australia. Until then, have a great weekend, as I said, and keep on spinning.